Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and look at your wacky Colorado weather forecast for the next few days. We're going to go from a very, very nice day today. Highs low to mid 70s, gorgeous, lots of sunshine, light winds. But by the time we get to tomorrow, we'll start to see the first of several cold fronts move their way through the Front Range. We're going to be talking about snow and the potential for temperatures to drop as low as 10 degrees here along the Front Range by the early part of next week. So if you like this warm, sunny weather, enjoy it today, even a little bit tomorrow before those big changes arrive later on into the week. And we're going to have some big impacts to the weekend forecast, next week's forecast, and that includes a chance not only for some light snow here along the Front Range, some heavy mountain snowfall, and also the potential for those temperatures to crash as low as, again, about 10 degrees. Halloween forecast looks very cold as well. So let's start things off by taking a look outside and enjoying the sunshine. As I say all that, it's beautiful outside. It's sunny. It's in the low to mid 70s for us here along the Front Range. Very, very nice outside on this Wednesday. And looking also here at Denver, very, very nice. And again, those peak fall colors, enjoy them because those will be going away later on this week. So one more truly warm and sunny day. Tomorrow we start to see some changes. It should be mostly nice tomorrow as well, but depending on the exact timing of our front, we will see some changes here along the Front Range. It's a bit cooler tomorrow and a big cool down by Friday with winter-like weather, and that'll stick around through the weekend. Now, another thing I haven't talked about yet, we did have some pretty thick fog, and that still continues to linger for our friends here across the Northeast Plains. We do actually have right now, oh, I'm sorry about that. I will pull up for you here some of the visibility that we're looking at right now here across the metro area as well as points north and east. There's a look at that visibility right now at DIA, 3 miles, Fort Morgan, 2.5 miles. The good news is that fog is gradually lifting. We're seeing that fog gradually improve. We did have visibility as low as a quarter mile at DIA this morning. That's, when you're talking about a quarter mile of visibility, that led to a ground stop for over an hour at the airport. And there's probably going to be residual delays at a DIA all day long as a result of that. In town, though, of course, it's beautiful and sunny. It's hard to notice for us here in downtown. Again, it's the Northeast Plains dealing with some of that fog that will gradually lift it. And I think in the next hour or so, that should be over and done with. That said, as we head through the overnight hours, clear on out. Maybe seeing a little bit of fog spill back in far northeast Colorado again for tomorrow morning. I think here along the I-25 corridor should be mostly A-OK. Temperatures right now, 40s, 50s, eastern plains, 40s and 50s in the high country. And highs today running about 10 degrees above our seasonal average. In the low 60s, will be in the low 70s for us in Denver this afternoon. It's very, very pleasant out there. And for today, again, that fog that we had clears on out. Any fog we got should dissipate shortly. Low 70s for those highs, and for tonight, it's down to about freezing for us with those clearing and cool conditions. Now, tomorrow, mid 60s for us, so it does cool down for tomorrow. Depends on the exact timing of our next cold front, but it does look like we'll be in the mid 60s for tomorrow. With those winds maybe picking up a little bit during the afternoon and early evening hours. Cold front will push its way in from the north and east through the day tomorrow, and that will eventually lead to some of those showers and the potential, I should say, lead to the potential for much cooler conditions for tomorrow as well. And by the time we get into tomorrow night, we'll start to really feel that much cooler air mass. That's thanks to an area low pressure that's going to dig its way on through. Big cool down. First snow of the season looking more and more likely. Cold front arrives tomorrow night. By Friday morning, it will be cloudy with a few showers, and then by Saturday night and a Sunday, a secondary cold front arrives, and that means it's going to be cold and snowy for the weekend, specifically on Sunday. So here's what to know about this weekend. Heavy mountain snow likely for both Saturday and Sunday, and it looks like especially Sunday morning. So I think by Sunday afternoon, things should be a bit better. It's very cold in Denver into next week, and that light snow is likely for Denver as well. And that snowfall, I'm not going to get into exact numbers here, but here's an idea about what we could be talking about. And again, this is mainly Saturday night and Sunday in the Front Range. Into the mountains along north by 70 in particular. That's where you could be looking at 10 inches plus possible into the mountains. Accumulation likely in the foothills for sure, and 2 inches plus possible in the Denver area. Still depends on some banding issues. We're going to have some banding, narrow bands of heavier snow that could lead to higher snowfall amounts, but 2 inches plus appears more and more likely for us here, possible I should say, in the Denver area. So here's a look at that overall 7-day forecast. Wacky, isn't it? How about that? By the time we get into your Sunday, we got light snow. Saturday, maybe a mix, rain to snow. And then it clears on out for Monday and Tuesday of next week. And your Halloween looking very, very chilly, but specifics, that Broncos forecast, ooh, I just knocked back those temperatures a little bit more. We're going to be in the upper 20s during the game. There will be a bit of a wind. It'll feel like the 20s, and it'll be probably lightly snowing throughout the game as well. I'm not sure about accumulation yet, but stay tuned on that one because, again, there's still some uncertainty. It will depend on some of these narrow snow bands, but at this point, it does appear like we could be looking at maybe some accumulating snow during the game on Sunday. So I probably don't need to tell you to dress warm for the Broncos game on Sunday, but I'll just tell it to you. Dress warm for the Bronco game on Sunday. Halloween looks cold but dry right now. Looks like temperatures will be mainly in the 20s. Still some uncertainty about the Halloween forecast, but just, again, plan on a very chilly Halloween night. Another thing I would also point out as well is that if we do get that snow, and especially if we end up on the high end of the snowfall totals this weekend, we may be dealing with some melting, and that would lead to black ice issues on Halloween night. So the forecast really just doesn't, frankly, look great. Trick-or-treaters, not only do you need to have the have kind of extra coats and dress with those extra layers for Halloween, another thing to keep in mind is you'll probably want to have those kind of more steady shoes, maybe like boots, something like that, because again, we could be dealing with patchy black ice on Halloween night as well. I know it's on a great forecast. We've had some pretty pleasant Halloweens over the last few years, but this one looks very cold, unseasonably cold, and also, again, with the potential for some of that black ice. We'll fine-tune that forecast as it gets closer. Remember, it's 6 days out, so we still got a while to kind of get that forecast in mind. I don't have to tell you that forecasting, well, I probably do have to tell you that forecasting Colorado a day or two out is pretty challenging. I'm talking about 6 days out. There's still a lot of variables that go into play. So, again, for Halloween night, you can certainly plan on a very chilly Halloween night. The amount of black ice, that's a bit more of a question. Depends on how much snow we get this weekend and how cold it stays for Monday and Tuesday. So overall takeaways, enjoy the nice weather while you got it today and mostly tomorrow. And then by Friday, we start to cool down with some light showers around. And then by Saturday and Sunday, that's when we're dealing with that full winter blast. Temperatures drop down well into the teens for Sunday morning, Monday morning, and probably Tuesday morning as well, maybe even into Wednesday morning. So it's going to be a prolonged deep freeze for us here along the Front Range. We have not dropped below 24 degrees in the month of October in Denver since 2020. It does happen, but it's the first time in a couple of years we've gotten this cold this early in the season. But again, it does happen. You go back to 2019, 2020, we had some single-digit readings in the month of October. You go back certainly over the last 20 years, we've had many instances of temperatures dropping down in single digits and teens this early. It's just been a few years since we've gotten this cold. So just worth pointing out some of the context there as well. I'll have another update for you coming up at 9 News at noon and also at 2 p.m. here on 9 News Plus. Then we got Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sieben and 4 and 5 Meteorologist Danielle Grant and at 6, 9, 10 tonight on the 9 News Family Networks. Once again, I'm 9 News Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.